I want to say, first off, my computer is not the tiniest of computers. It's a bit of a chunky boy. It is a chunky boy, okay? It can handle a lot of things. It's a relatively new computer. It was my moving away gift. My mom helped me get it. Uh, and the settings are on low for almost everything here. Like, it had a thing where it was just like, hey, let us pick out the settings for you. And there was like a couple of things that were set to medium. Most of this stuff was automatically on low, and I just set it to lower. I don't know why it is so heavy when it comes to this stuff. I don't understand why it's so heavy and so chunky when it comes to the graphics for this game. But it is very heavy when it comes to the... I mean, I kind of understand. When you see the game, you kind of understand why it's so heavy. But this is called Corsair Cove. It is a management game, and it's also... would I call it a card game? I guess I would call it a card game, because you have to use cards in order to, like, win the battles and stuff like that. So, we're gonna play a little bit. We're not gonna go... I don't think we'll finish the full tutorial. But I have more positives than I do negatives. But there are some negatives that I want to talk about. And I'm going to skip the cutscenes, because otherwise we will be here all day. Okay? We're going to be here... Oh, no. Okay. No, it's fine. So we're using WASD to pan. We're using the right mouse key to, like, move this around. The middle mouse wheel. And then left mouse to do this. And he's going to talk no matter what. Like, we're going to hear a lot of talk.
If there's not enough room on the ground, well, why not build on the walls as well?
And yes, we're going to be able to build on the walls. So I'm not going to read... There is a lot of text. There's a lot of stuff on the tutorials. I don't think it necessarily gives you every... It gives you a lot of information that's good to have, but I think it's better off that you just see.
We're not the first to be stranded here. Perhaps we'll find gold in these scattered wrecks.
I think it is better off just to see it in action than to actually focus just solely on the game. So, you have to build a connection with everything. The main connection you're going to use is a connector. It's using simple paths, bridges, and ladders. Roads are slightly faster than bridges and ladders. So, this path, the connector, the main connector, can work on the ground and in the air. It is the only one that can be used in the ground and in the air. I am telling you this because of a specific reason, but we are going to put this path right here. Okay? So now everything is connecting. We have to build a pirate camp. So this camp is already here. And we are just going to build we're going to put all of our materials over to it. Okay? But I wanted to make sure that you knew this path can work for anything. Okay, and we're going to go and explain why more later, but I just wanted to let you know this path can work on the ground and in the air. Okay, right now, as of right now, you cannot necessarily go over the water directly. You cannot go from, like, say, like, if I wanted to make a path here, I cannot go directly over the water, but I can do it if I am on the air. If I am in the air, I can do it. I just can't go from, like, ground to ground and pass over the water. And it took me a little bit to figure this out. I'm going to speed it up using Sims, like 1, 2, 3 Sims kind of buttons.
At least we sent her to the depths for good.
And again, it's going to go through a lot of text.
To kill a captain. We haven't seen the last of her. Mark my words.
Anyway, we had to build the pirate camp, and we built 3 tents. So, this middle section, I believe, is where we build the tents. But we have to actually look at the camp first. This shows us that it has 2 builders working here. Satisfaction is 98%. And we have 5 people complain. There's, like, complaints about, like, 5 houses needing built. So we're going to go to construction. And we're going to build tents. Now, you can place them on the ground like this. And honestly, in this area, it's probably better to do at least a couple down there. Like this. You can also build them up in the air. You can do that. And we will do that eventually. But for right now, we're just going to put them like that. Okay? This is just something to be aware of. And in fact, I am going to build one, like, say right here. Just as
Our meager
an extra.
salvage won't last forever. We need to make more planks.
And I'm also going to build one like
we have
right
enough
here.
to build a ship. I say we leave as soon as that is done.
We'd be fools to let this chance slip us by. You'll see, Honorata. This is just the start.
So, they're complaining about, like, the house, complaining about needing 5. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to get some woodcutters. Now, woodcutters require a specific lined area that is fertile. Now, it also has to be in this blue circle that is close to your pirate area. So, we're going to do that. We're going to put it right here. And as of right now, there is nothing connecting to it. There is no way to connect to it unless we build a path somewhere around here. Which means that we're going to have to build some way over to it. Now, the best way to do that is to simply connect it to a different house. Now, this cliff path only works on cliffs, but this connector can allow you to connect to just about anything. So we're going to connect it to that, and then we are going to connect this path all the way down here. And it took me forever to figure out the difference between these, because this one literally, you could just do that. It just goes on the path like here. This one will connect to the wall. This will connect up. This will connect down. It will connect left and right. It just won't go over water. But you can go over water as long as it's high enough. So that's how you do it. So I guess I didn't really need that, but I'm going to be using it to get over to this area and other places soon, so it's fine. But we're going to select a woodcutter. And then we're going to make a sawmill. And we're going to build it pretty close. Now, if you notice, it automatically has a connection to it. Some places will have a connection to it if they are close enough. But in other areas, like when I put it right here, it didn't have a connection because there was nothing close enough that it could connect to. Same with up here, I had to make the connection myself. Everything needs to be connected in some way in order for your pirates to actually go out and build it. Now, you'll see this up here. Somebody's complaining about upkeep. If you need to hear about upkeep issues, you go over here. So, we'll worry about that later. We might actually need to demolish these two, actually. I'm going to demolish those two. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to put these up here. I'm going to put those two up here. And we'll build these up here. Because I realized what we're going to be doing later. That's essentially what it is. So, and then we're going to access this. And we got some workers here. And you'll see that there's 2 different worker types. Assigned pirates and drifters. Drifters basically can get any jobs. They can be assigned as workers, fetchers, or crew. When all drifters are assigned and busy, the construction is slow, and new buildings cannot start production. Drifters need no upkeep resources, but they do need housing. And then these are ones with assigned jobs. Working hand and crew pirates require upkeep resources in addition to housing. Now we're going to go ahead and build a warehouse. And we're going to... Let's see. Where would be the best place to put the warehouse? We probably want to put it up here. Close to where everybody can reach it. Trying to think of where would be the best spot for this. And you can see there's a whole bunch of connectors it's connecting to. The more connectors it has, the better. Because that means that more pirates can get in and out, like, faster. So. There we go.
Now, let's empty our shipwreck and demolish it for more space.
Alright, so what you want to do is when you're about to get rid of stuff, you want to go and make a connection right here. And then you want to just take out everything that's in there. Although I think okay, storage is there. Okay. And we just take out the planks. So I did it right. Let me try it again. Yeah, it's going to just take out all the planks there. And then eventually this will empty out and we can just demolish it. Alright. There we go.
The crew's uneasy. Something requires our attention.
Let's see. Every so often you'll get an event on the right side, and you click on it, and this is the event right now. We discovered 2 of Amara's soldiers hiding amongst our crew. They claimed they were stranded here like us, that we were about to slice their bellies open when they loudly renounced the crown and asked us to accept them as pirates. What should be done with them? Now, we can let them live, and that will get rid of 30 cohesion, and then we can spill their guts, which also gets rid of their cohesion, and we also lose 2 pirates. Now, cohesion is very important, so it might be better to lose less cohesion than anything. So the crown would have seen us dead. Now we repay the favor. We execute the royal lackeys to cheers of many, though some wanted to give them a chance.
Tough times call for hard choices. A good crew sticks together through thick and thin. Lose that cohesion, and everything will fall apart.
So essentially, cohesion shows how well your pirate community sticks together. You can gain or lose cohesion in events, and when you have defended your island, if a cohesion drops to 0, your community falls apart and you lose the game.
Where's that bloody pig?
That is the only thing that I really wanted to read, because cohesion is very important in this game. But now we're going to build a campfire. Campfires are very important because it allows you to make food. And I don't know about you, but I am a person that really likes food. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I like food, I'm sure that the pirates like food too. And pirates probably don't want to die of starvation out in the middle of, like, nowhere. So we need a place to, like, collect all this food and eat. And once we have built that, we have to build a galley. So the difference between a campsite and a galley is that the campsite is where you make the food, and the galley is where the food is stored. Now, I kind of question this one, because they can also eat at the campsite. Here, basically, it says campfires can produce stew for no cost. Their production is slow, but it'll do for now. Now, a galley can distribute food to all pirates within the area of the pirate camp. And make sure enough stew is delivered to the galley, and all your hands will stay satisfied. If upkeeps aren't met, satisfaction will drop until it reaches 0. This will trigger an outrage, and you'll have to choose how to resolve the situation. Success will restore order, but failure will reduce cohesion and make the outrage worse. Again, I feel like you could have just left the campfire, or at least I think you can set it so that they will eat here. I think they can still eat here. I'm not sure. But the galley is the one that insists that there has to be food at the galley no matter what. Pirates can take a lot, but a lack of food or proper shelter will push the toughest sailors to the brink of outrage. How shall we address their anger? So we are in an outrage moment right now. Just building that causes the outrage to kick in. So we're going to do this, and we're going to activate all hands at deck. Okay? And the satisfaction is going to rise over time. I'm going to read it, the all hands on deck thing over here. Basically, and it gives different effects depending on which place. But basically, it's a 50% production boost. When you enable this, you instantly get a productivity boost. If you need to produce more resources efficiently, build more producers instead. So we're just basically giving them like a little bit of a... Whoa. Why am I going so... Oh, okay, I see what I did. I pressed the wrong buttons. R and F. F will make it go down. R will make it go high. Okay, got it. But we're just going to speed it up. And then the satisfaction for pirate camps will be for 120 seconds. So this is because we actually have food in the galley now. And you can do all hands on deck to encourage people to, like, get more food for the galley. And you'll notice that, like, more people will come to work at the galley during this time. The same for, like, people working at the campfire. If you just started up a project, it might be good to, like, have more people working there. For example, might be good to have, like, a couple of people working here for a little bit too. Just to speed up the process and make sure that you have enough workers and resources at the beginning. Our swift action satisfies everyone. Well done. Let's grab ourselves a few drinks. Aye. And now we can make moonshine.
But for a pirate nest, we're still missing a vital establishment, don't you think?
Ah, yes. A treasury. Or perhaps a high-class brothel.
She means a tavern, you posh idiot.
Alright, well, why don't we place this tavern up on the water? So we're going to do this distillery right over here. And then we're going to... Whoop, I need the other connector, actually. And we're going to have it connected right there. And again, I think the thing that caught my interest is not only that it's a pirate game, but also the fact that you can just, like, have all these connectors and stuff and make it really look like this. Like, I really like the aesthetic. I think the aesthetic of it is what caught my attention more than anything. Anyway, we're just going to have all hands on deck for a little bit. Because the tavern essentially works like the galley. The moon, again, I feel like it's the same with, like, the campfire. The campfire, I feel like as long as there's food at the campfire, that should be enough to satisfy. The moonshine still works the same way. Moonshine, that's where the product is made. The tavern is where it's actually given out to everybody. I don't understand why there's a separation of these things, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Sorta, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of pointless. Yes, there's people dancing with pigs or, like, singing and yucking up with them. I don't get it either. I mean, it's silly, I guess. But, like, look at how much stuff they put into this game. Can we talk about, like, all the stuff that they've added into this game? Like, this is low quality, by the way. I've got this on the lowest settings, basically. And it still looks like it's not perfect graphics, but it's still pretty good, all things considered. Alright. Assign a fetcher at the tavern to grab booze. Now, I can't really assign that. I just have to wait for somebody to do it themselves. So, whenever y'all want to come get a job, that'd be great. Excuse you. I've never had to assign anybody anything. Except for, like, the pirate ship. Okay, it's just taking time, I guess. It is the tavern, right? We have 17, we have like 7 drifters. Let me see. You know what, how about we do that? That might encourage like 1 or 2 of them to actually start working at this place. Oh, you know what? I bet they... Well, no, they should be able to get over there. kind of confused at what's going on here. Tell you what, how about we get like a house or something? I don't know why I'm having issues here. Listen, this is not the first time I've had an issue here, too. This is part of the complaints I was going to have. For some reason, sometimes the building just stops. The building aspects and stuff just stop working. Like, I got up to the point where I could build a mine and a quarry, and it just stopped paying attention to, like, everything. Like, it was pretending that it was building and everything, and then it just stopped. So that was part of the issues I was having. Let me see. Okay, what I'm going to do... I hate doing that. But let me see if I rebuild the thing. I'm going to break that. But I had it built. But I got the pirate ship part done. Look at all these seals. And then I was doing the mine aspect, and it was just like, nope, sorry. You're not doing squat. We're not doing anything. And these, all the Fletchers and stuff automatically assign. Green Hands and Fletchers, all that automatically assigns. The only time I've ever had to assign something automatically myself is if I'm over here. Every other group of things just auto-assign as soon as the job is available. So, I mean, well, this sucks. I'm gonna speed through it a little bit. See if maybe... Oh, okay. Slick booze. Choose... Oh, okay.
Finally, a place to wet me gills.
Huh.
Things are coming together. All that's left is a pier, so we can build a ship.
Okay.
We need a tavern keeping here.
How come I didn't have to do that for the galley, though? I forgot I even had to do that. Okay, so because there's other things that you can bake, like cassava bread and roast bird and turtle soup. But it automatically connected for that. How come it didn't automatically connect with the moonshine still? They're literally right next to each other. Or at least, why didn't it give me the tutorial for that for the galley? I'm very confused. Anyway, I'm very confused. This game is very confusing to me. It wants me to connect. So we're going to connect them. Oh, wow. There's like a little place up here. You know what? We probably want to do more than one place. So how about, like, too long. Okay, we'll do it from there. The galley. Is there, like, another area I can connect to, like, from the ocean? No, apparently not. Maybe after it's built. I like that we're going from the crow's nest to build this thing.
I must admit, this is starting to look like a little haven.
An enemy ship is en route.
Did you miss me, pirate scum?
Amara! How the hell did she make it here?
I wonder if maybe that's why I was having issues with the stone.
Her ship is barely holding together.
Anyway,
She still has her cannons.
there we go. We're about to have another cutscene. I'm going to be playing this up until the, like, we do our first battle.
We don't have a gun tower or better shipwreck at the time. Well, we'd better duck for cover.
We'll do our first battle, then I'll end this. But this isn't required, like, we can't fight. But anyway, everybody's going to go to the tavern. I'm going to skip over this cutscene. There is a cutscene. The attacking ship has bombarded our island. We lost many pirates and buildings. So our cohesion's down and our pirates are down. So there's our cohesion again. Some buildings have been destroyed. Destroyed buildings show the broken icon. We're just going to repair all buildings. I think she only broke 3 of them. Ships let you explore the 7 seas, view the distant regions, and complete quests. We'll go ahead and take care of that. And there should only be a couple of things left. But, like, do you see this bar right here where it's filling up? The mining things, they wouldn't fill up.
That rotten wench took our tavern keep. After her.
How? We still don't have a ship.
Then let's build one. It's about bloody time.
I like that the quest is called It's About Bloody Time. Yeah, here it is. There's the quest. So we're going to make our first ship. So, start ship construction. And we have several ships, technically. We only have one. But we have a bunch of options. Here's some of the ones that we can do later. You can see all their stats on the side. And each one has a different number of crew. Different construction costs. Different levels of supplies, health, crew, gun damage, speed, armor, maneuverability, boarding damage, that sort of thing. But the only one we can do right now is the Landlubber. The Landlubber is not a good ship. She's slow, underpowered, and doesn't have much space for a crew. But she's more than enough to learn the rudiments of sailing, fighting, and plundering. So that's the ship we're going to start out with. Oh my gosh, they even have like a little manta ray swimming around. There's so many cute little aesthetic things that they added on here. They really did make it look like you were like a pirate that was stranded. Oh, they even have bird nests? I mean, the birds are mostly just... I don't think the birds are properly fixed. But again, this is like the first, this is the lowest setting, so... Like, I'm not expecting them to look perfect, but it is kind of weird them just standing there.
Isn't she a beauty?
Like, the fish do wander around at least.
It's a floating turd.
Yeah, it's not
And
the
who
best
shall be
one.
the
See, like, at
proud
least a couple
captain
of
of
these are
this
moving
turd?
around, but not all
One
of them.
us has to, I'm afraid.
Okay, so we gotta sign a captain now. So you've seen all those people, like, talking and moving around and stuff like that? We can pick one of them as our captain. And there's quite a few around, and you can even explore and find new captains. But each one has, like, a captain's card and a perk. So, for example, this one is increased speed by 20 and maneuverability by 20. You gain supplies based on outcome, take 2 times damage to these. Gain dice pool for the rest of the objective. Increase health by 20% and boarding damage by 20%. She's actually pretty good. All or nothing, gain plus 3 dice pool the next turn. If your dice pool result is less than 5, it becomes a 1. Increase supplies by 20% and speed by 20%. And then easy as murder is 1 per next turn. If you deal damage to your opponent's heart, the effect continues. Increase health by 20 and gun damage by 20. I'm gonna just choose this one
Who wants to be shot?
because he seems like the more basic one. And then we're gonna pause the sawmill. We're also gonna slow down this one. Now I know you probably couldn't tell, but I had like some all hands on deck. Like this. And if you see the little symbol right here, that means all hands are on deck. Now we probably do need like a few more people. So let me just pause that real quick. And we need to hire at least 10 crew, so... There we go.
Ship shape and ready to go.
Amara can't have gone far. Let's get our bearings.
Alright, so... I keep kind of getting mixed up on what we need to do here. I think what we do, you can click this to see like his stats, and the landlubber, you can see the crew, the cargo on the ship. This kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. You can see like his stats, and then you press M, and you can just take a look at the map itself. So what we want to do is we want to embark over here. And then we can just follow the ship if we want to. And this is the only one I'm going to show off. I'm going to fast forward.
Let 'em know we're here.
Your ship reached the Seven Seas event. You can enter it as soon as you're ready.
About bloody time.
The quiet of the sea has been mostly forgotten by the world at large. Our presence here is sure to change that. We're going to enter. And there's another rival ship. Your ship has... Okay. Quest update. Let's start the event. And we're going to do a crown battle. An event has started. Finish the objectives to win. Reduce the enemy health to 0. So here's the crown forces that we're going against. And it tells us some instructions. The dice pool is the number of dice you roll this turn. Health and crew, if either drops to 0, you lose. Obviously, if you have no crew, you can't fight. And if your health goes to 0, you're gone. Supplies, most choices cost supplies. If you run out, your options are limited. And these are your combat stats that determine the effectiveness of your choices. And then it also tells the other ones, dice that your opponent's going to use, the health and crew. Some objectives will require you to lower these to a certain threshold. Unlike you, the opponent does not lose automatically if either drops to 0. Combat stats, they determine the effectiveness of your opponent's choice. So for example, if you drop, like in this situation, because I know this is kind of confusing here in the middle. If we drop the crew, that doesn't necessarily mean he loses, because we haven't dropped the health to 0. So we have to drop it to 0 for the health, only for this one. This will be the opponent's choice for the current turn. It will be executed simultaneously with your own. These are available choices for the current objective. Each choice has a cost on your supplies. Some choices gain you a treasure. If you win the event, all treasure will be rewarded as bonus plunder. The combat log tracks all objectives, choices, and resulting effects. Click on the highlighted choice. Click on the highlighted dice. Now you and your opponent roll all dice in your dice pools. The outcome will determine the effectiveness of your choice. Your choice has reduced your opponent's health, while theirs has destroyed your supplies. Now a new turn begins. Yeah, they completely destroyed our supplies. Without supplies, you can no longer make battle choices. Switch to support choices and make a choice to resupply. So you can click this to switch to supplies. This choice grants you supplies at the cost of your ship's health. And we're forced to do it. You can see up here, Tides of Fate. Well, you could have seen it. Maybe if you paused. And here we go. Defensive blast, 2 to 7 damage to health. We now have the chance to do whatever we want, except we're still limited. Not available during tutorial. Wasteful barrage, 7 to health. Lose all supplies, gain 5 treasure. So we got 2 dice there.
To hell with their crown and their cronies. Time for a drink.
And that's how it works. Okay. And if you want to send the ship back to pier, you click this button. We got all done.
Charming little backwater, this. I wonder if there's gold to be found here.
Now that's basically how it works.
We need to find that Spanish wench.
And then the next one you can actually do more freehand, but basically there are battle and support techniques. Each one costs supplies or health or something else, like crew, depending on your choices. The debris of a recent fight reaches our island, carrying a handful of exhausted pirates with it. Their ship was attacked by a pirate hunter under the Spanish flag, Mara no doubt. We'll take them in.
Shelter too. Let's make sure we're providing.
And yeah, that is it. Once you are done, and you can bring it in. You just gotta do a repair. And it'll tell you what you've done. You've done 2 events. This is the damage done. This is damage to crew. Supplies lost. How much cohesion you gained. Coin. Powder. Planks. And then we can repair the ship. And that's it. We don't really have any use for the powder right now. We have to build like a gun turret and stuff like that for use of that later. But I think that's enough for like the tutorial for this. Now, again, there was like a point where I started building up here, and this was like the main issue I had. It like pretended that they weren't being built, and I know the connectors were all in place and everything. It was just like they were like trying to build it, but then the bar never filled, and I would like speed it up. I would move them around the buildings and whatever, and it just stopped working. And it was somewhere after we built our first gun tower, which is pretty close to this part. I think we had to beat Amara. I think she's somewhere over here, which we're about to get to that point. But I think that's enough for this game. I think it's a really good game, but it definitely has some errors. Even with the low graphics settings, this is a really pretty game. And I really like the idea of building on the sides of cliffs along with like every other area. Um, I am kind of confused why we can't just build a bridge directly over the water when we can build bridges literally everywhere else. And then that issue with like the buildings later on. I also wish that it explained to me like during the galley section to like connect it that way, because I completely forgot about doing that for the tavern and I got really confused. But yeah, I think overall not much not much I can say that's like overall bad. I think it just really just needs some fine tuning and just like a little tweaks here and there. Um, but the game itself is really interesting and I really like it. Sailors, scoundrels, crown deserters, people of all walks of life. We're gonna just take the able-bodied. We don't want to lose too much cohesion, and I kind of wish this was a little bit more obvious because for a while I kept not noticing this. I think it might be good, or like have a warning that like, hey, your satisfaction is going down. Like not constant, but like every so often it just lets you know, hey, people are complaining about housing or something like that. Because I do not get warnings like that a lot in this game. It does not warn me about that a lot. But overall, I think it's a really good concept. I really like the design. I like the aesthetic, definitely. But I think it just needs like a little bit of tweaking. Like look at that. Look at that weird little shape that I just made from buildings. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this game. So I'm just gonna go on there, and I actually prefer like the card aesthetic because I'm not really good at like tactical games where you're having to control a whole bunch of people at once. So I actually prefer the whole card battle system myself. I know some people were kind of disappointed that it's not like a proper pirate simulator with like cannons and fighting. I actually prefer it this way, but I get why other people didn't like it. Anyway, we're we're gonna be so long. um, so let me see. This is not going to take long. So I'm going to do this before I take a break. There are there's two games that I want to make sure to play, and then there's one game I want to talk about. So I want to. Oh my god, it's changed my settings again. Okay, no, it doesn't have the settings. Okay. Um, I thought it had settings. Okay, I was going to talk about bookbinding. I will just save that for uh later. I'll talk about it while I'm playing a different game. Okay, because apparently it does not have, because I'm playing this on one screen, right? It does not have a option to change the size of the screen. I thought it did, but I guess not. But we'll come back in just a minute and we'll play a different game because I can't change the size of bookbinding screen. But we'll come back in a minute, okay? I'm going to take a break. I'm going to stretch. Um, I've got like 3 games left. I've got 3 games, but I will be right back, okay? I'll be right back.